Cape Town Tigers upset the FUS Rabat team. Let's just talk about this. So the 8th seed beat the 1 seed. And this game was so intense, it went to overtime thanks to Samkelo Sele 3-pointer that he sunk late in the game to send the game to OT. And the Cape Town Tigers did the impossible. So the previous video I've talked about the FUS Rabat team taking the 1 seed from the Al Ahly, the defending champions from Egypt. And in this game, in the first round, man, it was just a heartbreaking game for the FUS Rabat team because they only got beat by 3 points and they didn't have any weak spot in this game. Unfortunately, they were not able to go ahead and close it out. So this game, the people in attendance were 6,279, and it was an epic thriller for. It was a North African clash. You're seeing the best team, one of the best teams in North Africa. We have Morocco, FUS Rabat, Cape Town Tigers, team hailing from South Africa. They didn't even have a shot because I looked at them and I just felt like they just looked like a first round exit. But they just managed to prove me wrong. It's a couple of videos ago when I was talking about the classification games. And honestly, full credit to them. Samkelo Sele is a beast. This man is good. And also, another record was broken. You got Sibanioni. He recorded 25 rebounds, the most rebounds in a ball game. And he's on the record books. And I don't think this record is going to be broken that quickly because pulling down 25 boards is not as easy as you might think. But the Cape Town Tigers, they came in and balled out, and their good teamwork and good strategies down the stretch and also some luck at the end just gave them the win. Even despite Alou Diarra's monster double-double, 18 points and 16 rebounds, still it wasn't enough to be able to wield the FUS Rabat team. And the FUS Rabat team, I must say, this is a team that they checked all the boxes, especially shooting-wise. They shot 40% from the field, 38% on 2-point field goals, and 45% from downtown. On 20 attempts, they made 9. And they've looked very efficient when it comes to shooting from downtown. But when it came to the shooting them free throws, they really, really struggled. They were 15 of 27. That's 55%. And they lost that free throw battle to Cape Town Tigers, who didn't shoot very well from the line. But they were 19 out of 33. And this is something that is very concerning. If you're not able to knock down those free throws, you get the result that you get, because those are the shots that you need to sink so that you can make the game or even swing the game to your favor. But both teams rebounded at a similar rate with 53 total boards each. And the FUS Rabat team, they led in the assists to 24 assists, and they coupled it with some 7 steals and 12 blocks in this game. So defensively, they were good, but down the stretch, some late game heroics from Samkelo Sele, that was the difference, because this game, it just looked like FUS Rabat. They didn't look like they had any weak spot in this game, but the way they looked at the end, it was so discouraging for them, especially with that 2 seconds left in OT, where they just had to inbound the ball, and the rest is history. You got knocked out. The 8th seed just beat the 1 seed, and it marks the second upset of the first round, because in a previous video I've talked about the Al Ahly Benghazi team upsetting the Al Ahly, the defending champions, and in this one you're seeing the FUS Rabat team fall to the Cape Town Tigers. And in the next videos, as per recording of this video, the River Hoopers, they just beat the US Monastir team. So that means this season you're going to get a new champion. And also Petro de Luanda are the only team left right now from all the teams that have been in 4 BAL seasons. They're the first team in BAL history to be back-to-back in the semis. And they have made the semis every single year. And in the first season, the second season, they have just been good. But the Cape Town Tigers, this is a fast experience for them. And this win just shows you everything that you need to know about this team. They looked very underrated. A lot of people, myself included, wrote them off because of the performance that they had in the regular season. They only won 1 game in the Kalahari Conference, and they managed to sneak in because of a good point differential and I didn't even pick them to even go any far, because immediately after the Nile conference tipped off, tipped off and came to a close, they just snuck in. I just saw they qualified. So given like their record, they didn't see it very high. They were very low, and there was not much expectation with that squad. And looking at how they played, they just looked like they can be able to at least challenge and make the game much more exciting in the semis. But the FUS Rabat team, I must say, is a very huge disappointment to end the season like that, considering the fact that these guys, they dominated the Kalahari Conference. They beat the Cape Town Tigers twice in the Kalahari Conference. Not forget that these two teams already met twice in the regular season at the Kalahari Conference. FUS Rabat did not even skip a beat in those games. But in this one, in the game that was so important, and it's a one-game knockout, they failed to show up, and they failed to be able to like close it out. And they only have themselves to blame, because you would expect people to be able to step up in these games, and in these games have little margin of error. Because if you have any error in this game, or if you have like a myriad of bad plays and you don't coordinate yourself well, there's a high likelihood you're not going to be able to go ahead and win these games. So from the first quarter, the FUS Rabat team they had a solid start with 17 points. The Cape Town Tigers also had a solid start with 15. And you could see the chess match began. The FUS Rabat team, this is a team that has the ability to strike at will, and they have the ability to capitalize on the other team's flaws, because North African teams, what I've seen through the years, they have the unique ability to capitalize from other people's flaws. Let's say a turnover here, a bad pass there, a steal there. They're able to convert that into easy 2 or 3 points, depending on how the opposing team responds. But in this case, the Cape Town Tigers never kept their foot off the gas, and they knew what shots they needed to take, and they knew who to go to, especially Sam Kelosele. He was very spectacular and phenomenal. But in the second quarter, which I really enjoyed watching, we had one of the most successful quarters that the Cape Town Tigers had, and this, I must say, was the quarter that enabled bring that fighting spirit for the Cape Town Tigers, because they racked up 29 points to FUS Rabat's 24. And just to close out the half, both teams were just holding serve pretty well, but the Cape Town Tigers had the upper hand. Then moving on to the third, it was not the most high scoring, but you could see it was a better performance from what we saw in the first quarter. But the consistency of the Cape Town Tigers, they had 19 to FUS's 18, and they finished, and they were just in striking range. But when it came to just closing out the fourth and just putting the hammer down, especially Sam Kelosele with that 3, just sending the game to overtime and also knocking down them clutch free throws just to seal the game, were very vital, as the OT got forced by Sam Kelosele 3 for the Cape Town Tigers to go to overtime, and FUS Rabat went ahead and were not able to close it out in the final minutes of OT, and the Cape Town Tigers are in the semis. And I must say, we had a couple of good performances from players in the FUS Rabat team. Kendrick Brown, he played north of 39 minutes, only rested for 1 minute. He was 15 points, 5 of 12 shooting, and he had 3 turnovers, 1 steal, 2 rebounds. Didn't do as much scoring wise, but I must say he tried to do it. Good. Alu Diarra, this guy was 7 of 12. He had a strong double-double of 18 and 16, and he really struggled with them for turnovers. Then we have Mohamed Silla, 23 minutes played, 15 points, 7 of 15 shooting. He had also had a double-double of his own of 15 and 11, and those are the players that really, really put in contributions. Also, Abdel Hakim Zuita, 28 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 11 shooting. Not the best, but he'll couple in with 8 assists. So the whole game, it was just looking like FUS Rabat were gonna win, but they just luck did not. Their luck ran out when the game got forced to overtime and they were not able to score shots, as they were only limited to only 5 points to Cape Town Tigers 8, they were not able to go ahead and just close it out. But when you look at Alou Diarra, this man is a defensive beast. Despite the loss, he had a very good game and he had 4 blocks. Also, Mohamed Silla added in 4 blocks there. So out of the 12 blocks, 8 of them came from Alou Diarra and Mohamed Silla. So defensively, and when it came to rim protection, they were no joke. But the Cape Town Tigers, I must say, Sam Kelosele, 30 points. The man played for damn near the whole game, 39 minutes, 14 seconds. The man only had north of like 40 seconds to rest. His 30 points, not with the most efficient shooting clip, because he was 9 of 25, but he was able to knock down all the most important shots, especially that shot that took them to overtime. And from the line, he sank 10 of 14, and he was 71% from the line. But his two threes, especially that one took to overtime, was the difference. And when it came to even the rebounds, because he had 9 rebounds, he had 1 assist. He didn't have like a lot of. He only had 1 turnover. He was not a turnover machine like that, but he had 3 steals and also a block to go along with it. And looking at how he played, the Cape Town Tigers needed his performance and his productivity like that. And I must say, the Cape Town Tigers, they had the most good game, because we had 5 players scoring 10 points or more, and you could see behind Sam Kelosele there was also other other players being very productive on both ends. Sibanyoni, his contribution during the game, and even when he came to like grabbing the rebounds, because he had a record 25 rebounds, the most rebounds in the BAL game. His performance was very much needed, and it was the main reason as to why Sam Kelosele's 3 mattered at the end. And also we had Kata Diarra. This man has also been good. He had 8 assists to go along with his 15 points, and he played 41 minutes. So these guys played heavy minutes. And looking at those performances, that is what you need from your main players. You got Diabok Deng, 27 minutes played, 12 points. He was 4 of 9. He had 2 assists, a rebound to go along with it. Then we had Ngor Santino Yewet Manyang. So this guy played 31 minutes, 13 points. He was 3 of 10, but still had 5 players scoring 10 points or more. And you need your main players to be able to go ahead and be productive, especially when you're playing heavy minutes. That was what was needed. Then going even into the other statistics, because it's very important for a team to be able to even take note of like second chance points, fast break points, points from turnovers. The Cape Town Tigers, despite trailing in shooting percentages, they were very, very productive when it came to steals, fast break points, and points from turnovers. So the FUS Rabat team just got beat by their own game plan, as the Cape Town Tigers were able to go ahead and beat them in points from turnovers, 22 points from turnovers to the FUS Rabat team's 14, and 23 fast break points to FUS Rabat's 11. When it came to second chance points, FUS Rabat did not hesitate, and they were able to win that matchup. They had 25 second chance points to Cape Town Tigers 18, and the bench productivity from FUS Rabat was also exceptional and exemplary, because they were able to score 33 points from the bench, and something that the Cape Town Tigers didn't have that much, because they had heavy reliance on their 5 starters to be able to like play heavy minutes. They played heavy minutes, and their bench productivity was non-existent, because they had a couple of DNPs in there. But still, the end result just showed that the game was just going to go to their favor. And I'm very excited to see this team just perform like this, because the first time the Cape Town Tigers and FUS Rabat team met, the Cape Town Tigers got handed the worst blowout. It was 84-58. So FUS Rabat scored 84 points on them. It was a huge blowout, very embarrassing. But from that first blowout that they had in the regular season, when you look at the second time they met during the regular season, in the second round. You could see the Cape Town Tigers, it was not a blowout, but the game was very close. So that meant what that showed me was the Cape Town Tigers, they have the ability to learn a team, and they're able to know what to do and what not to do. Because in the first game, the Cape Town Tigers were not familiar with FUS Rabat's game, so they were just trying out a few things, and they were not able to go ahead and even stop Alo Diarra, and not only let Alo Diarra even have those monster performances, but how could you be able to mesh your team and find a way to be able to score them points and also play some good defense. So that was one thing that I noted from this team. And since that the second game that the FUS Rabat team met the Cape Town Tigers, you could see Cape Town Tigers made the game respectable. This game ended 84-75 for the Cape Town Tigers. They lost this game, but they carried the improvements to where it mattered most. And the Cape Town Tigers, I must say, got their revenge, and it was so brutal because this was a season-ending beatdown. And at the clutch, and it was such a good thing to see. And I'll just be here, just drop these videos. I know I've been late on them uploads, but more videos coming on this of this nature coming your way. And I must say, congratulations to them, Cape Town Tigers. They have shown that you can be able to turn it around despite having a poor start. The Cape Town Tigers were really, really going through it because they got beat by Petro de Luanda. They got beat by FUS the first go around. They got their only win, their one and only win in the regular season came at the cost of Petro de Luanda's game and season, and also led to Coach Jose Neto getting fired. But still, Cape Town Tigers, they're the real definition of BAL underdogs, a team that you might not even say that they could even make it. And funny enough, if they continue playing like that and shocking the world, there's a high likelihood that they can be able to do the impossible. But anyway, just my opinion. So do drop me your comments in the comment section down below. I know this video has been long, but hey, I just wanted to just come out there and just give it the way it is because it was such an important game, and it was just a fun game for me to watch. So if you guys like the video, like, share, subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening if you're listening in Kenya, you can hit me up on the Safaricom. I've put my MPESA number there. You can send something on there. But if you're listening to me and you're outside the country, within the continent, or wherever in the world you're listening to me from, there's a PayPal link that you can hit there and send something to support the network. So, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.